yeah, we I don't even know where to start. We pretty much told the whole story just now.
Yeah, we just told the whole story off camera.
The real story.
The real story.
But
let's talk about it.
Let's talk about the real story.
Yeah, how did this come to? When did this idea? How'd you come up with this idea?
I heard that you could hunt catalina, and you could kill a deer on it. I always thought that you had to get it guided by some dude, and it was like $5,000 and all this stuff. And then I learned that either this was the first year or last year, you could go as a California resident or a non-resident and go
hunt.
You could go hunt, and I was like, sick. We got to do it. And you can do you can use both of your tags as a California resident. And so I was like, shoot, I'm gonna trade both mine in through the PLM program and do it. I was like, I want to kill one from the plane.
Yeah.
Or using the plane.
From the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And two from the boat. So I was like, let's go get the one done. And this year, plane was the only one I ended up shooting.
Yeah.
But it was sick.
It was sick. And when you told me about this, I was super, super pumped because I've always wanted to go hunt a deer in Catalina, or at least be there to witness it. So I was like jumping on them, like I'm going.
Heck yeah!
Sure.
Well, you spent your childhood out there.
Yeah, I did. And,
that's that was your thing.
Yeah. So that was cool, and I got to learn a lot from you, which I'm excited about. You know, I don't know if they're all good habits, but
I guess at the end of the day, it worked. A deer was on the ground, so
yeah.
Everything worked out. We ended up being super aggressive.
We were.
And
we were pretty aggressive. Yeah.
Like way more aggressive than I think I would have been if I was there for like 4 days and we were bow hunting. I also don't really rifle hunt that much, and like I think that was like the first rifle hunt you said you'd been on. And
yeah, that was the first rifle hunt I've ever seen. So
I don't like. I've been on rifle hunts for work, but I've never really pulled the trigger on much, like a handful of animals.
Yeah.
But, so I was like. But you and I had kind of agreed that this was a meat run.
Yeah.
We're going buck,
this
doe.
was a full meat run, you know.
Yeah.
As far as I was concerned, like, we were bringing home some meat. That's all. That's how I'm gonna put it.
Yeah, and like for Catalina, they're trying to get rid of some of the animals. So, buck, doe, Bambi, they all were fair game. We were trying to avoid the Bambi scenario, and we didn't want to shoot a spike.
Yeah.
At least I didn't want to. I think you were like, I don't know, who cares? Like.
Well, I just wanted to eat. I wanted to eat good, so I had to rely on Dusty for his like expertise in hunting. He's been hunting for a while now, and I trusted him. But I made it clear. I'm like, look, I want to eat some deer, so he made it happen for us.
Yeah, we just wanted to bring something home. We're gonna go through all this effort. We're gonna fly over there, make it look sick, bring a camera, which in this case ended up being a GoPro, which was sick.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and so we were like, let's put something down and. We sat there like for all day. But I mean, yeah, so then we landed and hiked into the zone that I had been in there. I was in that area like the week before, I think, with some buddies. And I knew that there were animals there. I knew that there were does there. I'd seen does. So I was like, perfect, we'll just go here. We'll shoot something. We get there. We get set up like, oh yeah, let's just hang here for the rest of the day. It's a good glassing spot. We can see everything. And then like, I don't know, I think I took a nap. And for like 20 minutes, woke up to rain and fog, and we couldn't see anything for what felt like hours. I'm pretty sure it was hours.
Yeah, it was a while. Dusty was able to take a nap, and I was too excited to fall asleep, so I was just trying to glass the whole time, even though I could, you know. I was pumped. I was ready to find something.
Yeah. I
you
mean,
you were able to like. You've been on a couple more hunts than I have, and you're able to just take a nap. Because you know that's how it works, but I wasn't. That's hard for me. Fall asleep while we're out there hunting. Like,
otherwise, I'll go insane, like just sitting there waiting, because it's like
so
thick.
I was going insane sitting there waiting.
We ate a chimichanga burrito from 7-Eleven, some gummy bears.
That may be one thing that I probably shouldn't have taken his advice on, the chimichanga. I don't know. It worked out.
I kind of regretted it too. It hurt, but
it hurt.
It hurt. Yeah, and so we ended up. I had like a little tent deal that's like floorless that I use for backpacking, and thankfully I brought it, so we were able to hide under there while it rained. And then like a couple hours before, like intermittently, we'd get some pockets where
Yeah.
you could see this hillside,
A
see
little
this
bit of
hillside.
hope. A little bit of hope.
Yeah, glimmers. So we jump out, we like glass around, be like, I don't see anything. Dang it, did we mess up? Go back, sit there for a while, talk story, and then go back out, and then all of a sudden it like lifted. And like 2 hours before sunset.
Yeah.
And we kind of like drop in, we're like, man, this bowl looks super juicy. Stepped in, looked down in the bowl, we're like looking around, I don't know, a minute and a half goes by, and I'm like, oh, I see a deer. Oh, it's a buck. Oh, there's another deer. And another deer.
And another one.
And they're all 3 bucks.
Yeah.
And there was like, I think there was 2 forks and then a spike.
Yeah.
And the one fork was like kind of getting ear width. They were all young. At the end of the day, they were all young. And so we're like, all right, let's like, we don't have much time. This is the first deer we've seen. They're working their way here. Let's try to cut them off. And then we just went on a terror. We were like a few hundred yards over this way. They switched. Back this way. They switched. I don't know, like, if we were bumping them around.
They kind of knew something was up. I
Yeah.
feel like we got a little busted, but not completely.
Yeah,
I'm not, I'm still like not the quietest guy. You know.
It's hard to be quiet. It's so dry and crunchy. I mean, at least we
Yeah.
had some of that wind, or at least we had some of that rain.
Yeah.
So it helped kind of like calm everything down. But we did not have that good a wind, if I remember right.
Well, it's kind of like whirling around.
Yeah,
at the point.
especially in that one
Made it
bowl.
tough.
So we chased these things around, they would move, we'd try to counter it and try to like cut them off and just try to get within like, because it was kind of thick and we didn't have good shooting angles and
Just like a bunch of obstacles, I felt like.
Yeah. And so it was like, if we get to this clearing, maybe we could shoot, and then that didn't work out at all. So then
they'd go the other way. We think they're going to do one thing, and then they do the other thing.
Or then we wouldn't see them for 5 minutes. Next thing you know, they're all the way over here. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
So there was a couple of times where we'd like dip over this ridge and like sprint, and we're like running down, trying to get in, get behind some bushes, pop around, look. He spotted them when they made their like kind of final move over this like knob that was skylined with the ocean.
Yeah.
Saw them there, and there was only 2 bucks at that point, and so we like slowly tried to work in on them and figure it out, and and then they kind of had dropped down over this edge, and they were in this gully, and we couldn't see them. We kept creeping out. We're like, where are these things? All of a sudden, I'm like looking through my binos, and I looked way closer than I thought they would be, and there's one just staring at me. And I was like, oh crap. And I think as the one spooked and ran up and went to go cross over the ridge, the other one was following, and when it looked away, I like ran to that knob. That's when I was like, all right, we're gonna go to the knob, like, and then you cruise because you're like, oh, I don't want to like put 2 bodies in the way, and
I just didn't think I was gonna. It would have busted me.
yeah,
I think.
Hey.
I don't know. I was like, if I get up right now, I feel like this thing's gonna take off. So I didn't.
hey, it was a call he made. It worked. So there's nothing wrong with that. So I think that's like the funny thing too is, I mean, for work, I film hunts all the time, and then I just was like, when we decided to do this, I was like, yeah, let's bring a camera.
Yeah.
Here, take the camera, and then I didn't tell you anything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we didn't know how this footage was gonna turn out. I was like, I hope there's something usable. So.
Turns out it worked, and
there's some stuff.
there's enough footage. I mean, like, shoot, we're at the rough cut, and it's got like just sub 17 minutes, so that's kind of cool. I mean, I thought in my head it would be like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, like, it's a little longer than I thought,
Yeah.
and it's like still engaging. I mean, maybe it's just because it's funny to us.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's cool. Like, I'm excited to do more stuff like this. I thought it was sick. I thought it was pretty sick.
Yeah, hopefully we can keep pulling it off. But yeah, and then got to that knob, put a round in this thing, and was able to go down, check it out, and it was a young buck, which was perfect because it had good tender meat, and
yeah, it's really good.
So the whole kind of plan for this hunt was that we were gonna obviously land on the Catalina airport, and then hunt our way to our campsite, and then hunt in the morning if we hadn't killed anything, our way back to the plane. And then once we kind of knew a targeted zone we wanted to hang in, and that's where we ended up finding them.
Yeah.
Getting on them and killing them, and then just kind of packed out down to our campsite, and then woke up and got out of there.
Yeah. I was pretty psyched. Like when we were talking about it, you're like, okay, we'll hunt hard that evening. If we don't see anything, or we'll be a little more selective, whatever you're saying. Nothing. The next morning we'll hunt and get out of there. But I'm like, we got to get something tonight. Like, you got to find something and get it tonight.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to be stressed out. I mean, I will be, but I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to get something right now.
Yeah.
So
Like the first thing that steps out and like makes the mistake of being in range and ready to go. Like let's
dude,
get it in the
seriously.
packs.
And like halfway through the day when we were like in the zone where we wanted to hunt, and the rain came in the fog, and we're just sitting there. I'm like looking at you, and I'm like, oh, dude, like what did we get ourselves into? It's a lot of like work to get out here, but I mean, it was fun. No regrets. But it's kind of like that kind of feeling where you're like, oh, we did all this, and now it's like blown out, or just no viz, and we just like can't see anything, and we're just like kind of like laughing, like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, it's like this sucks. 'Cause we put all this effort, and now we're here, and we're like, we just got to make the best of it.
Yeah, and then just like out of some like hope, it starts clearing up exactly how we wanted it to, like close to it, right before like the time we wanted it to. So we're like, okay. And then we get out on that ridge line, and then you're like, I see deer. And I'm like, oh, crap. Like, this is sick. Like, all these emotions were just like, dude, come on, Dusty. Like, good one. To, like, we're in the game. Like, don't blow it, you know? And I'm just like, this is sick. This is why I want to go hunt, you know? That is freaking fun. That's the part that's sick to me.
It is. It's that unknown.
Yeah.
That chunk of that unknown, and you're like, we did everything else right. We put in, like, we limited ourselves on time, but that was, like, the point. It was like a meat run. Any gender.
Yeah.
However many genders there are.
Oh.
You're like, okay, like any sex of deer, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna drop that thing, hopefully, and
we're
put
leaving,
it in the pack, and we're coming home with meat.
We're leaving
That's all we
with
want.
meat. We're putting meat in the plane, and we're flying it home, and we're eating it. And we did it.
That we did.
And looking back on it, definitely one of the sickest missions I've gone on. Like, fun, you know. I'm talking just like quick, fun, like not the craziest. Like he didn't kill like some massive whatever, but I will remember that deer. I'll tell you that much. I will remember that deer. I don't care how big it was. It tasted freaking good, and it was sick. I don't know. I'm ready to go.
Dude, I'm ready to go again. Yeah. So like now shoot, it's like our first installment here of what we're trying to do, and I mean, obviously, you're trying to stack up hours. We've talked about a couple other hunts and shenanigans we can get into.
Yeah. So, like, I want to utilize the plane to go do fun stuff. Go with Dusty, hop in the plane, go spearfishing up the coast for rockfish, go on hunts, put animals in the plane. Like, that's pretty sweet.
Dude, I'm psyched on it because I like small planes, and it's been fun learning to fly it with you. And then, I mean, I like hunting with you. I guess we haven't really dove for like Sargo together, but like lobster, and stuff like that. But I'm psyched. So now, hopefully, if logistics work out, we're trying to go to Texas here. And then, if that fails or succeeds, then we're gonna try to go to Hawaii. Obviously, not in your plane, but
we could try.
I think it's just get a lot of altitude and glide that last chunk in.
Just bring some extra fuel.
But dude, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I think that'll be rad. I think it's gonna a lot of cool opportunities. Maybe some spring bear we're talking about.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
So, and then hey, maybe do another run at the Catalina, whether that's on either plane or boat. We'll figure it out because thankfully we're blessed to have access to both. So
either way.
I mean, I don't know. It's sick.
It is sick.
I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on?
Yeah,
we're learning as we go.
Always learning.
Always learning. We're having a sick one.
It'd be sicker if we were drinking Easy Riders.
Wow. Cheers, bud.
Cheers.